Thank you. Okay, so for the last 18 years, I've had the opportunity to work with quite a few high-level players, some of the best players in the world. So we're talking number one pick in the NBA draft, number one pick in the WNBA draft, 3 National Player of the Year winners, and over 30 All-Americans. In the process of working with those players, I've learned a lot about what it takes to get to the level that they're at. So here's your message today. You're not that cool. You're not special. Get over yourself. You're not that cool. You're not special. Get over yourself. There's 2 reasons why you're here today. Number 1 is so that you can be seen by these college coaches. Get over yourself or they will get over you. That's how this works. In the past decade, there's been 2 or 3 players in the state of Minnesota that have put out a graphic that says, hey, these are my top 4 schools that I'm choosing from. There's a ton of excitement around it. Everyone's, oh, I can't wait to see where they go. But what most people don't know is that 3 of the 4 schools have already yanked their offers. There's 1 left. I've talked to these coaches. They're like, man, that kid was so full of himself. So get over yourself or they will get over you. It's simple. The second reason that you're here today is to compete against the best players in the tri-state area. It's an awesome opportunity. If you are a competitor, you should be licking your chops. It's the best players here. I get a chance to prove myself. I get a chance to improve by competing against the best. Just about, I would say every team in here is going to have 2 or 3 ding-dongs that are selfish the entire weekend. I've been doing this for 7 years. Going to take stupid shots, going to play selfishly, okay? They are hurting themselves. If you're not in their shoes, you got an awesome opportunity to prove to these coaches that you can play a role, that you can defend for the whole weekend. In 7 years, I don't think I've seen anybody sit in a defensive stance for the whole weekend. If you can't do that with the amount of coaches that are going to be here, I don't know what to tell you. It's an awesome opportunity. But you're going to have to get over yourself to be willing to do those things. You're not that cool. You're not that special. You need to understand this. I hear players all the time, Coach, I'm a 6'5" wing. I'm built for college basketball. There's about 8 billion people in the world, and I think 4 billion of them are 6'5" wings. You have to do something to differentiate yourself. I've worked with Paige Beckers for the last 6 years. One of the first workouts I ever had with Paige, she's incredibly frustrated. She's going hard in a workout, and I stopped her and I said, Paige, I got a question. You're USA Women's Basketball Athlete of the Year. You're on the cover of Sports Illustrated and Slam, the #1 recruit, and I just listed off accolades. And I said, and you're in the gym, pissed off. What drives you? She looked down at the floor. She looked up at the ceiling, and then she looked me dead in the eye and said, I want to be the greatest women's basketball player of all time. And every single time she has stepped in the gym for the last 6 years, she has had that attitude. She's never been too cool. She's never been too full of herself. Andrew Wiggins, #1 player, #1 pick in the draft, scores a ton of points for the Timberwolves. He's one of the focal points, gets traded to Golden State. So now he's no longer the focal point. You got Steph, you got Clay, you got Draymond gets a lot of attention. Jordan Poole's a walking bucket. Andrew Wiggins never once shows up to the gym acting as if he is too cool or that he's full of himself. He becomes an all-star starter and arguably should have won Finals MVP. I could go on and on. Megan Gustafson, AZ Fudd, Janai Broom. I can go on and on and on. And every single one of these players that are at the highest level, they don't act that way. Paige Beckers could act like she was cool, but she doesn't because that's not what got her to that level. So those players that have actually achieved enough to act that way, they don't. Okay? So we got to be able to get over ourselves and take full advantage of the opportunity that's ahead of us. Second thing is this. It's called the 738-55 rule of communication. 55% of what you communicate is through your body language. So hey, coach, I didn't say anything. I know you didn't say anything, but your body language screams. 38% of what you say is through the tone of your voice, and 7% is what actually comes out, the words that actually come out. So think about that from today and tomorrow. Those coaches up there, they can't hear you. So they don't know what you say. They don't know the tone of your voice that you said it in. All that they can see is your body language. Your body language is basically 100% of what you're communicating this weekend. So be aware of it. It's not just, oh, I got to avoid negative body language. I have to have positive body language. So from the jump, like we're going to do the skill stuff. We're going to have guys come out and demonstrate. If you are called out to come demonstrate, sprint to the spot. Sprint to the spot. These coaches, they already know who you are. And more people get crossed off the list than get circled. So you need to understand that. If it's between you and a couple other people and you get called out to demonstrate and you walk out, you're screaming. You're communicating to them that you're just okay being cool and being casual. We don't want that. This is an awesome opportunity for you guys. Use it. Last thing is this. I just want to touch on recruiting a little bit. So some of you got an idea. Some of you, a lot. I talk to parents and players all the time. We're a little bit out of the loop. So Division I, it's a head count. You're either full ride or you're a walk-on. There's no in between. Division II, schools can have, I believe, up to 10 full rides. Not all schools are fully funded. So about 11, 12 years ago, I was at Minnesota State Moorhead. I believe our full ride was $16,000. We had 10. So what that means is 16,000 times 10, we got $160,000 to play with. So I can give you 10, I can give you 16, I can give you 8, I can give you 4. You can mix it up. Jordan Reaver was our best player. He will likely be here today as a college coach watching you guys. He's an All-American. I think he was on a scholarship of $12,500. So most of you hear that and say that's a 3-quarter scholarship. Here's the deal. Tuition was about $7,500, which gave him $5,000 to live off campus. He lives in an apartment with some teammates, $300 a month. He ends up with a couple grand in his pocket at the end. So it's technically a 3-quarter scholarship, but everything is paid for. So at the end, it ends up being a full. NAIA is a little bit different. Each school is going to be a little bit different. Some schools are based on averages. I spent a year at an NAIA school about 12, 13 years ago. Our average at that time was $6,000. Each player in our program had to be, our total average for the players was about $6,000. So if tuition was $19,000 and I need to offer you $19,000, but my average needs to be $6,000, what do you think I need to do with our JV program? I got to go get a bunch of guys and give them $2,000 scholarships so that I can afford the stud. So you need to understand in the recruiting process, if you're getting offered by an NAIA school, NAIA is really good basketball, but if you're getting offered an opportunity for $1,500 and you have other options, you're probably the guy that they're looking to use to bring the average down so that they can go get somebody that they really want. So you need to understand that as well. Division III, there's no athletic scholarships. You can get academic money. Same thing with Division II. So if a full ride at Division II is $30,000 and they give you $20,000, but you have $10,000 worth of academic money, you can tag that on the back end of that, and it ends up being a full ride. Okay? Last thing is this. I hear horror stories every single year of kids that get absolutely terrible advice, and oftentimes it's from people that genuinely care about them. They just don't know. Right now, I'm connected with a couple of the top Power 5 programs in the country. And the things they're saying to me is, Reed, we're not recruiting high school kids anymore unless they can play right away. Because if they can't play right away, they're going to get impatient and they're going to transfer in a year anyway. So why would we do that when we can go get somebody in the portal? And you can argue whether that's right or wrong. That's the reality of the situation right now. So now you have kids at the Division I level that are hopping in the portal left and right. You go down a level to Division II basketball. I'll tell you this right now, the Northern Sun here, this league, they can't schedule exhibition games against Division I's. It's very difficult because the D1s don't want to play them. That's how good the league is. So if you have a Division II scholarship right now, take it because it's going to go away. You need to understand there are limited spots available. And if you have an offer from someone that genuinely wants you, it is on the table, I would ask you the question, what are you waiting for? Because that stuff goes away. All we see is the tweet that says, blessed to receive an offer. There's no follow-up tweet that says, blessed to get my offer yanked. And it happens every single week. So you need to understand what you're up against. There are limited spots. You have an opportunity this weekend to go earn one of those spots. Don't screw it up by having bad body language. Listen, there's a lot of really talented players in here, and I don't want this to come across like I'm screaming at you that you suck, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is you have to have a level of focus for the duration of today and tomorrow. There is zero bad body language. None. It will cost you. Be a great teammate. Move the basketball. Do all of those things. And then if you are fortunate enough to have a college program that wants you, take the offer. Okay? So we're going to have some stuff with your teams here. Critch is going to take this, but we're going to hand select some of you that we know to come demo. When we call your name, sprint out. And if we say, hey, we need 3 more guys, I would love to see like a collision of guys sprinting to that spot so that they can take part in the drill. Got it? We're going to get after it today. Let's have a good day.